totally forgot.
How come you have so many clips, Prabhul?
They're just.
What the fuck? You told us
We
3.
get 2 to 3.
You have like 6.
Hey, I asked you to send clips. You didn't.
Well, he did, but he said 2 to 3.
Is there a Porsche? There is a Porsche clip. I knew it.
Bad boys.
Hey, no. We don't get to.
No Man's Land. Did you put it? No, I thought you would have loved No Man's Land.
I haven't seen that one.
Oh, it was like.
Wait, save it.
Oh, we should. I'm gonna just take a note on honorable mentions because I think there's a bunch of movies. Well, we'll see what's out there and what's not on there.
So I listed a bunch of stuff. You can mention a few at the end once we pick the top 3.
Yeah.
Then you can.
Yeah, I have a few more I want to mention too. There's some
okay.
good ones.
All right.
All right.
So hopefully it overlaps with our selection.
Yeah.
Like what you think as well, right?
Are we live now?
Oh yeah.
Oh, okay.
Oh,
all right.
nice.
Recording.
All right.
right.
Okay.
We
Let's not
are
waste any of the tape. We're gonna run out of VHS tape.
VH.
So are we still doing it that way? No. We don't.
Blu-ray, Eric. It's
Let me go over
Blu-ray.
and get the roll.
Burning on the disc right now. We're running out of discs.
Burning live.
That's funny. All right.
All right.
Anyways, let's start this one off. Hey everyone, welcome back to another episode of Car Talk. We're here with our usual suspects. Well, actually, you're back.
I'm back.
Eric is back. We missed him last week.
Sabbatical. Yeah.
We had to reset your stamp card.
I didn't get the smoothie though. Let
No smoothie.
that be
Yeah,
known.
but you didn't make it all the way.
All right, here we go again. To suffer through 10 more episodes.
And we've got Lucas as well. In this episode, we set out this exercise for ourselves to pick top 3 movies or shows that involved cars.
Yeah. I think someone had made a comment about forcing me to watch all the Fast and
Oh, yeah.
Furious.
That was both of us.
Yeah.
Well, there's a comment like,
was there?
I think it was Instagram or actually in our YouTube chat comments.
Okay.
Someone actually said we should get Eric to watch all of the
Yeah.
Fast
'Cause
and
I
Furious.
made the comment that Fast and Furious ended after the first one for me.
Yeah.
And anyways, but I think, like it'd be an interesting conversation where, like there's certain movies like where the car is just instrumental to the plot. Like maybe it's not all about the car, but you think about the movie Departed. What would it have been without cell phones?
Yeah.
So having that conversation about what would the movie,
That's a really old movie.
Yeah, it is.
But it was an Academy Award-winning movie. But someone had once said that to me, and I thought, oh, you know what? The movie plot wouldn't have hung together without the cell phone. And I think we'll have the conversation about like the car, like movies or TV shows that featured cars prominently.
Yeah, and maybe you guys can throw comments as well of what your top 3 cars are as well, and we could engage ourselves in it.
Top 3 movies with
Movies or
TV shows.
TV shows.
Or TV shows, yeah. Well, actually, so that's an interesting one because I think all of my picks were mostly movies.
Yeah.
I just thought, I don't know, I picked movies.
Well, I think there's more. Well, maybe I'm wrong, but there's more movies with like cool car scenes and or based around cars than there are TV series or shows.
I think there's at a point in time because I think my picks when I looked at I could have kept going on TV shows. The 80s, it seemed to be very automotive, and I didn't put we'll talk about some others that I didn't put in there, but I'll say them and you'll recognize them immediately. It was all about the car, and I don't know if it was we were coming to the OPEC oil crisis, cars were getting exciting again, but you saw them start reappearing in TV shows specifically in the 80s. 3 of my picks are from the 80s.
Yeah.
Well, and they were TV shows, so
that's pretty.
2 of the 3.
That's
Two of the
true.
3.
Well, they had. We'll go over the board in a moment, but I think they had movies as well. With started as TV shows that moved into movies.
Right.
So when you picked your top 3, what was kind of the criteria for you deciding these are the ones?
So for me, it was. I mean, I think 1 is a stretch a little bit, but I like realistic car scenes.
100%.
I don't like when multi-million-dollar supercars fly from tower to tower across the city of
that's
Dubai.
why I got it. That's why I got into Fast and Furious. Even the first one was a stretch, but it just got silly after a while.
No, I think it was 3 or 4 after that. It was just like, this is not realistic.
The first one was actually, to be honest, back when that movie came out, it was quite realistic.
Yeah.
Except
people were doing that.
The drag racing where you all you have to do is downshift and mash the pedal, and that's how you pass somebody.
Yeah.
It
but
was
that
dramatized
aside,
a little bit,
Yeah.
like it was
Yes.
over the top.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But like those actual events took place.
Right. The cars weren't flying over.
Yeah.
Yes, I agree.
Like the zooming into the the internal components and seeing explosions and then flowing out into the exhaust. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah.
So, we've never seen stuff like that before.
Yeah.
So it was really good to see.
Yeah,
But
it's a
remember,
good point.
This
About
is
being
also
realistic.
based in California, right? So I mean, it was a bigger tuner market than there.
Was it Seattle too, right?
No, that was in California.
Okay.
Fast and Furious was
In California.
I know, but like
first one.
the tuner scene that was like that was originally from Seattle, right? I think Seattle had a huge underground car scene.
I don't know, but
Okay.
But anyways, it was on a bigger scale. But I remember that happened. That was the scene in Ottawa at one point where you would meet up at a certain location in Ottawa. Then you depart and go to the back roads and do runs down empty roads. So it was kind of the same idea.
Realistic was definitely
It was kind of
better.
realistic, yeah. But yeah, so my first choice was my favorite.
Yeah,
But
we'll
it's
get-
it's very real.
yeah.
Yeah. No, I like that point too.
Yeah.
It loses me when the cars
Same
get
thing for you
silly.
as well. Yeah.
Yeah, and then to the point I made earlier, it's just where where the car is, the movie is in and around the car. It doesn't have to be solely about the car, but you couldn't make the movie without the car.
Yeah.
And for me, I agree to those points as well. What additional piece was, I found it more appealing when the cars being featured are cars that I can attain. That gave me the sense of, like I get to drive this.
100%.
I'm driving a car that's being featured on TV and it's been driven. Like I'll never drive it, but when I get behind the wheel of the car,
Do you mean it's like a realistic car too? Is that
for
what you mean?
me to attain, like you could have Conan Seg and things like that in a movie.
Oh, and that doesn't.
But it's not a twin turbo Delso.
Yeah. And a Jetta with racing stripes all
Honda
over
Civic
it.
SIR.
Hey. Like the S2000 from Fast and Furious with the snowflakes, right?
yeah,
Like it's a realistic car.
yeah.
Who's that guy? Like Johnny Tran?
Johnny Tran.
Johnny Tran? Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
See, I remember in that era when we go over that, when that movie came out and when those cars showed up on the scene, those are the type of cars that I could afford to get.
Right.
I remember I owned an RX-8 in that, and it was portrayed as a chick car.
Yeah.
for most-
I was
most
just gonna
part.
say the
I was
girl.
like, oh,
What,
the
yeah,
girl
was
drove
it
that
Letty that?
no.
It was
the
like
drifter chick.
yeah, someone else drove that.
Oh no, it was the one that was pink. It was in the initial race scene for the first Fast and the Furious.
Yeah, I can't.
So I'll be, if we talked a lot about Fast, I'll be shocked if it isn't up here as someone's pick.
You'll be surprised.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, so the criteria for our picks were realistic.
Yeah.
Featured a car.
I think like poster cars, like
Yeah.
when I think about my picks, it was like cool cars. And I was my picks, I was a really young kid when they were out, and I was just in awe of seeing them on screen, in motion. It was very cool.
Yeah, and for me, it was also how they captured the car with the sunset, the lighting, how they staged it, all that stuff just sort of stood out to me, and those are the criteria for what I picked as well. So with that being said, maybe we could dive in.
Yeah, let's go.
We'll discuss it.
Top three, right, Prabhul?
Yeah.
Top three.
Okay.
Are we doing mine first? I'm on the left, or
Yeah.
do you want to start?
Well,
Okay.
Yeah, because I
All
couldn't contain myself to just top three.
know.
So
Okay, so you see, do I start then?
yeah, go ahead, Eric.
So my three picks, so you can see on the screen there, 1981 Cannonball Run. If you're a car person, this is like your Bible of car movies in my mind.
Oh, I wasn't even born then.
I know. So I know probably you're gonna run it. This movie was actually written by Brock Yates. Does anyone you recognize the name? He was the editor of Car and Driver magazine and the founder of the Cannonball,
Really?
the race, and that famous from New York to LA or California.
So if we're gonna start talking about directors and names and things like that, I have
no idea. I just want to see
Yeah.
the car
And
driving.
I'll show you. Well, what I think is cool about this movie is it's a variety of cars.
Yeah.
It has a whole bunch of cool cars, and I think it has one of the best opening scenes for a car. It's the iconic Lamborghini LP400, like the Countach, driven by the two very attractive women that are outrunning a Pontiac Trans Am or Pontiac Firebird.
That's not realistic
top
at all.
car. No, well, you see it, but they're
They're married men.
Yeah.
No,
You
okay.
don't think it's that realistic that a
Two
Lamborghini is going
girls
to
driving
outrun?
Actually, if you owned a Lamborghini and if you were single, that's kind of what would have happened in the times.
Right.
yeah.
You have a 308 Ferrari in it. You've got an Aston Martin DB5 driven by Roger Moore. The cast of this movie is like heavy hitters. You got
Yeah, yeah.
Burt Reynolds, Sammy Davis, like the Rat Pack. You've got Farrah Fawcett in the movie.
Farrah Fawcett is in
Roger Moore.
that. Okay.
Oh, okay. So names are
Jackie Chan
No,
driving a Subaru.
what?
And like
so sending.
So stereotypical.
no, well, it was this Subaru car that was all high tech.
Isn't that a lesbian car, Eric?
It was. I didn't say that. I didn't say that.
So this movie was released the year I was
1981.
born.
Yeah.
Damn. Okay.
I think it's one of the greatest car movies of all time.
Let's take a quick.
And it's about them, racing. So I'll stop talking.
No,
and
no,
We'll
go,
enjoy the
go.
movie.
Well, we won't watch the whole movie.
We'll enjoy the clip.
Let's skip past
All right.
all of
Let's
that.
Yeah,
get the...
So here you go.
Oh, there they
You
are.
can hear, listen, this glorious sound.
What's in the front of that car?
That's a spoiler.
Yeah.
That's how the front spoiler.
I've never seen that in my life.
Yes.
That's ridiculous.
That was the original. This is a 1979 Lamborghini Countach.
I've never seen a Countach with a front
Yeah.
bumper mounted spoiler.
Yeah.
This belongs in like... I'm not even going to say where it belongs, but...
Hey, man, that's how it stayed on the road.
You see the credit, like Dean Martin, Sammy Davis Jr.,
Yeah.
Peter Fonda, I think, is in this.
See, these type of videos are what set the stage for what car videos are like today.
Right.
Yeah.
Like, a lot of people have access to tools. They can create videos like this now. Back in the day, not so easy.
55 miles? I think not.
Can we do that today and get away with it?
Spray
Of course you
painting
can.
No.
Of course you can.
What are you talking? What is the?
No, like we get to a speed sign,
No.
cross it out,
No,
and do
don't do that.
100
Do not
miles
do
an hour.
that.
Why not? If a tree falls in the forest and no one's there to hear it, does it make a sound?
Okay. Now the police. So we won't watch the whole thing, but the short of this, great intro. They get pulled over and they use their feminine charms to get out of the ticket
Okay.
because they zip it down and
Oh.
they
Okay, that reminds me of another movie I didn't mention, but I'll keep it in mind.
and like the Burt Reynolds and Dom DeLuise are driving the ambulance with a NASCAR engine in it. And anyway, so it's like
So what was a big takeaway for you on this movie that shaped the way you are as a car person today?
well, I think it gave me exposure to cars I'd never
Yeah.
seen,
Yeah.
right? Like because there was a whole bunch of different cars.
Yeah, and movement. I guess,
Yeah.
you always saw, especially in the 80s, you saw tons of posters of the Countach.
Right.
Yeah.
You never seen one moving around, right? And then
that's
you
so
see
true.
it on a big screen, right? So,
Right.
That is so true.
Next up is Miami Vice. Before you play this, I want to say, so the series premiere of this show, I think it premiered in 1984, is I think some of the greatest television ever made. It's directed by Michael Mann, very famous director. And what was so cool about this and an appreciation for a car, the first two seasons they had a Ferrari Daytona, it was actually C3 Corvette with Daytona cladding. They built a whole bunch of them in case they wrecked them, and for movie or TV show cars. And there was such an appreciation for the car. Like you'd see these slow panning shots with Don Johnson driving it. And it's the whole premise is that he needed to have this nice car to infiltrate the high rolling cocaine dealers in Miami. And as per usual Ferrari lore, they threatened the show and the car producer with a lawsuit for using the image or likeness of a Ferrari Daytona. And so what they did is they gave the show 2 Testarossas to use instead of the Ferrari Daytona. So to use actual Ferraris.
really?
And they gave them, I think they were like a black and a red one.
Oh, wow.
And Michael Mann, the director, because they did a lot of night scenes, he wanted a white car. So he
it
had them
stands
painted
out.
white.
Yeah.
He
Wow.
painted these Ferrari Testarossas white, and Don Johnson would go
insane,
around.
But you know what? I think that looks good.
I think a white Ferrari looks amazing.
Yeah.
It's a Miami look for
Yeah.
sure, right? Like,
Well, and today I would put gold wheels on it.
but a really cool car. I think that car, the Ferrari Testarossas, was it like the first street car to break 200 miles per hour? I think
Yeah.
that was its claim. But
I never liked that mirror though.
the one side,
Yeah.
not both.
Yeah,
It
because
just-
the driver is the only one that cared. And then if you want to look the other side, just look over.
Yeah, but it just looks wonk.
Yeah.
Like, look at it.
But they realized the aerodynamics inefficiencies of doing that.
Yeah.
So now they put it on both.
Yeah, they both. So
That's cool.
yeah, it has all the cars of that. But really, again, I'll say it's if you want to, it's like a 2-hour season or series premiere, and it's some of the best television you'll ever watch in my mind. The soundtrack, you had like Phil Collins, Something in the Air Tonight playing on the TV show. You couldn't make this show today. You couldn't afford the licensing on the music. You had
Yeah.
Gloria Stefan and Miami Sound Machine.
See, there's some drifting action going on
Yeah.
too.
Oh, Chrysler cut him off.
Highway.
Oh, that was a LeBaron, wasn't it?
That's not my pick. Those cars.
Isn't that typical of what happens today too?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, GTO.
LGTO
Cobra.
Fox body Mustang.
Yeah.
But yeah,
See, this is awesome.
Yeah.
I remember. So me living in Dubai forever.
Oh, watch
Right.
this. Oh, cut him off hard.
Oh,
Now what?
and I get blocked.
Now what? In the middle? Oh, he moved for him.
they respect the Testarossa.
Respect the road.
Gotta respect the Testarossa.
Yeah, some
Yeah.
good handling cars.
Yeah.
But
All
this
right.
was one of the shows that I had access to when
Yeah.
when I could watch.
I think this is an international hit.
Yeah.
I had a friend from Poland, a different friend named Lukasz. This is one of the only shows he did have access to, and it was such a vision of what he wanted. He lives in Miami. He doesn't have a Ferrari Testarossa, but he has a Lamborghini. He's got a bunch of different cars, and now he's living his Miami Vice life.
Yeah, that's amazing.
Yeah.
Does he wear a blazer in 45-degree weather?
Yes.
And that's what this was all about, like
Yeah.
featuring beautiful people, beautiful cars,
Yeah.
beautiful
Style.
scenery.
Yeah. Beautiful architecture.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Not so beautiful roads.
Yeah.
Lucas will kind of have a fit.
Yeah, I couldn't
You would
drive,
No,
take
the
his
roads
car.
of Miami are
couldn't drive on
No,
that.
no, like just in this.
yeah. That scene. But
Cool.
anyway, so I think one of the greatest
The cell phone.
Shows.
I love it.
cell phone in the car.
Hey man, I had one of those.
What car?
My parents' car, not my car.
Okay.
Like when I was growing up, that was
Was it a 7 Series or something?
no, it was a Dodge Intrepid.
They had a cell phone in that car?
Yeah.
Was that wasn't a factory option, was it?
No.
Okay.
Aftermarket.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Factory options were like
How did that work, by the way? How did you dial out of a car?
What do you mean? It had a big antenna.
yeah.
And I think
Really?
the antenna sometimes you'd attach to the exterior of the car,
Yeah.
and it would
It was
be a
wired
battery
in.
pack that you could wire in through your car lighter.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, yeah.
Okay.
I had one in.
The first, I guess, iterations of mobile phones was just big brick.
Yeah. It was mine.
wireless
Yeah, it's about this
communicator.
big.
Yeah.
It was my mom's, but yeah.
Did you take it to school?
I did. I would drive around, and
In your
whether I
escort?
was making calls or not, I was pretending just to flex. So
Yeah, back then you could talk and drive, you know? There wasn't a-
there was none of those cell phone rules for sure. Anyways,
good choice.
Yeah, so that's my second pick is one of
So
the,
did these give you kind of tips on fashion trends where you kind of
yes.
I did.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, but back then, I
Yeah.
remember showing up to weddings as a 10-year-old with like white linen suits.
He looks like a cocaine dealer.
Yeah.
Hair slicked back.
Yeah. It's a crazy time, but my best John Johnson life. That was my number
Eric
two.
painted his escort white.
Did you?
No, it came white. I bought it was white.
Was it white for real?
And my Porsche's white, so maybe this is.
Oh.
I'm channeling. I gotta show up to one of our meets. with
Miami Vice has been engraved in your
Yeah.
mind and you didn't
Yeah.
even know about
big
it.
Yeah,
Carreras.
it's true.
Yeah.
See the influence.
Yeah. My third and final pick, and it was hard, like because we'll talk to the ones that didn't make the list because there's so many. You're gonna hear Knight Rider and Dukes of Hazzard, but I really grew up loving Magnum PI.
Yeah.
So this is hopefully everyone's familiar, but it's Tom Selleck. He's a private investigator in Hawaii. He's living what I always hope my life would turn out to be. He's driving a Ferrari. He lives in Hawaii.
And he's a
He
cop.
lives in this beautiful estate. No, he's not a cop. He's a private investigator.
Wow, sorry.
He lives on a private estate. All of his lifestyle is paid for by someone else. Robin Masters was the anonymous patron.
Funny.
He doesn't sound so anonymous though.
Well, you never saw him in the show.
Yeah.
Okay.
Right. But and there's Higgins, the estate keeper, but Tom Selleck, Magnum, Thomas Magnum would live in the guest house, drive the Ferrari, solve crimes, meet a beautiful girl every week, and
A single life.
yeah. I'm really happy though at home.
I was going to ask, hey, how did it turn out?
And the off chance Lydia watches this one, she's watched a single podcast, but this is the one she'll watch at
She'll
this
bring
moment.
it up.
Yeah, I'll just take a clip of this.
Yeah.
Be like, hey,
Yeah.
Saturday viewing. Ah.
But
This is the clip you put it in your stories, Instagram reel.
anyway, so I love. I mean, it's a great car. I think this car looks so good today.
Yeah.
The
308 GTS,
was
the
almost
328.
400 grand now or more.
Depends on the condition.
A
I'm
GTS
sure.
is actually more.
For a 308,
GTS.
I don't think they're 400,000. The 355 GTS is 400,000, but the 308's not.
Oh,
I think I've seen there's one on BAT right now. I think it's 75,000
that's
with
not bad.
with a day to go.
Yeah.
I always wondered, how have the 964 that Singer are doing. I wonder why, and maybe this does, and I'm just not aware. Why isn't someone doing that with classic Ferraris?
I think Ferrari's more.
They're tight about it.
No, there's so much restrictions and so much.
Get sued by them if you do stuff like that.
Yeah.
How would they know? Like,
Well-
I was thinking, like, you get a 430, maybe a wrecked 430, take the engine from that. I don't know if you could drop it in there, so you still maintain the pedigree of a Ferrari.
Yeah, but the thing is, like I'm not sure what Porsche's relationship is with Singer, but I don't think they mind that they're refurbishing these
Yeah.
cars. Ferrari, I think, does. I think they want their car to be their car. They don't want it rebadged or relabeled, or they don't want different motors swapped into models.
I think they have a in-house refurbishing department as well, where they repaint and
Yeah.
bring these Ferraris back to life.
Yeah, which costs.
Yeah.
Yeah. What's the gentleman's name we went
Oh,
to?
Hassan.
Hassan.
Yeah, he sent his
Ferrari
vintage
there.
Ferrari there.
And it was
Cost them a fortune.
a fortune.
Yeah.
A fortune.
to
And
be-
he had to argue with them about everything, right? So
Yeah. Anyways, so that is my three picks for best movie / TV show. And honestly, I could have given you 10.
yeah.
Yeah, that's true. It's
Like
hard to. It was really hard to pick three.
Right.
There's so many.
Yeah, there's a lot. There's not even. I wouldn't say there's that many car movies that I wanted to choose, but there's so many car scenes,
Yes.
movies that I liked.
That I agree.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I'll when you come to mine, you'll kind of be surprised as well. That's cool.
All right.
Great 3 picks.
Thank
Yeah, I like it.
Let's move on to Lucas. Okay.
That's arguably one of
Great scene.
the best car movies in existence.
I think it's definitely one of the best car chase scenes.
Yes.
That is an insane.
This is also the movie that had the BMW 1M or M1.
No.
This is
No.
the Audi
It's the S8.
S8.
But in terms of like realistic movies and cars, like it's a very obtainable car, and it does things that are
It's Robert De Niro that's the driver.
no,
Is Robert De Niro not in this movie?
no, it's
Robert De Niro's in this one.
is he? Yes, he is. You're right. Yeah, sorry.
So like,
It's the Audi
Like
scene, I think,
even
is
that
what
was
you're talking
awesome.
about.
You know, just that scene with the Mercedes.
yeah, just backing out.
But here, like each of the bad guys, they're traveling in the road in their Citroen,
Yeah, it's Robert De Niro.
and these guys are in the Benz.
Yeah.
And this isn't even the S8. This is the Mercedes, but the S8 one is even
Yeah,
better.
that S8 scene, I think, would be
Yeah.
in the discussion for best car scenes of all time.
Yeah.
Is this all the way at the end?
Well, I'm sure if you type in
Oh,
S8,
yeah, here we go. Here we go. Yeah, the S8's about coming
Yeah.
here. So the dude in the S8.
No, I think what you're referencing is I think it's a scene where I don't know if it's Robert De Niro driving the S8.
it's not. It's this gentleman here in this car. He's always driving the S8.
So what's crazy about this is that these guys were actual stunt people driving the cars.
Yeah.
And you'll see it in a couple of scenes. He's got a mouth
Like
guard.
I love that. Construction zone, bomb. You know, there's a truck. He goes around the truck. Okay, the
Goes
S8.
off-roading with the
But
quattro
I like
system.
how it's real. He actually goes like off road. You know, he's not jumping the cliff and landing on the road again.
Yeah. There's a lot of inspiration people have taken from movies like this in
Yeah,
today's
100%.
scenes as well.
So yeah, that's my first pick. I think it was a really, really good movie. Even the damage. I like how it shows the damage to the car. It's just,
Yeah.
you know, he hit a rock. Well, now the headlight's out.
Well,
right?
they didn't have CGI or anything
No.
like that to. They actually wrecking cars.
That's right. Yeah.
Yeah, I definitely agree. A very good pick. All right.
Next one.
This is kind of a modern movie.
Is this about cars?
Yes.
It's in the title, right?
Yeah. So I think this is a great movie.
I totally agree. I love this movie
Yeah.
as well. It just represented this sort of what's the word?
Rivalry.
Yeah, rivalry between Ferrari and Ford.
Yeah.
And mostly, like I think from what I read about it before this happened, this is a fairly true to life story, like representation of what happened.
But even the way it was presented, the actors, the way they played their roles, it was really well put together.
Matt Damon was really good in this.
Matt Damon was fantastic.
He played Carroll Shelby, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. And Kent was and really big names, Christian Bale, right?
Christian
was
Bale,
like
I think,
10
made
miles.
this movie.
Yeah.
He
I
played
agree.
the role he played in this movie, the character, the way he portrayed him was just perfect.
Yeah, I agree.
This is an awesome scene when he takes him on the test drive.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Takes him out. Let's
Yeah,
see.
he's taking for people watching him. He's taking I think the CEO of the Ford Motor Company
Yeah.
out for drive because he's saying, "What am I spending all this money on this development for?"
He's going to show him, eh?
Yeah.
Because he wanted to beat Ferrari.
I guess in history, this is what helped them seal the deal with the Ford GT.
Yeah, 100%. Well, when he comes out, he says, "This is amazing," right?
Yeah, made him cry.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think if people don't know the story, it's that Ford, I think, was going to acquire Ferrari to get a better foothold into motorsports. Ferrari jerked them around.
Well, Ferrari basically said, "F you."
Yeah.
Yeah,
Get out of here.
but through business, and then Ford, out of spite, said, "Okay, I want to beat them at their own game and develop our own car, and that's the Ford GT."
And that's when he cries, eh?
Yeah. Okay.
So at that point, you're not sure if you did a good job or a bad job.
That's what Matt Damon's like.
Yeah.
What? Okay, let's get past that.
Yeah. Oh, that's a long crying scene, eh?
I-
But so much emotion attached to this movie as well, right? Not only is there good driving footage and awesome cars, but it's just
We saw this in the theater together. Now I'm thinking about it. You and
we
I
did.
went. Yeah, with
Yeah.
Peter, I think.
so actually no, I went to see this with my dad and my brother.
No, I was with you.
Were you?
Yeah, you had just gotten your X5.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, maybe I went twice.
I do watch my movies twice.
Yeah,
sometimes. And
sometimes.
this is a movie worth watching twice in theater.
Anyways, yeah.
Great
movie.
movie.
Great movie.
I totally agree.
And then the third choice was the first transporter.
Jason Statham.
This is the one that's a little more far-fetched in terms of
What is it like? Is he transporting drugs or
No.
a person?
Anything.
anything. He's a transporter,
Okay.
right? So
But
he
in this
was-
movie, what is it?
in this movie, it was, I don't even know what it was, to be honest.
Oh, it wasn't
Well,
like
it's
he's
a
a girl.
bank
or something?
Oh,
robbery.
criminals, I guess. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So they were robbing a bank, and he had to. But there was another job associated with this movie, not just this one. But he's hired to drive away, right?
What I love about this movie is all of the, what's the word, like cinematography, just capturing the person driving.
Yeah.
The fast-paced scenes.
Yeah.
It really keeps you on edge.
Yeah.
the
This
entire
is
time.
also a manual 7 series, which
Yeah.
is so like these movies, Ronin and this one is kind of what got me into sports sedans.
Yeah.
I always enjoyed like when a 4-door performance car has always been kind of on my radar because
Yeah.
it's like a low key.
Gentleman-like.
Yes.
Yeah.
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 And I did the whole 2-door coupe thing, and it was awesome. But I was always drawn to a 4-door like sports sedan.
So did you also get yourself a black suit?
I wear it every time I go out. Black gloves.
It's because the subsequent transporter movies had the Audi S8.
That's the
second one.
He has an S8 after, I
Yeah.
think, and then he's backed into a BMW after that again.
No, it was Audis the whole time there after that.
No, I don't think so.
I don't think it came back.
Fact
to,
check in the comments.
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah, so I remember when the Audi SA came out, that just looked so good.
Yeah.
And I've always, every time I drove an Audi, a sedan, I was like, oh yeah, I'm transporting something.
I'm pretty sure it's the same S8 as in Ronin.
Yeah.
Same model, right?
The second movie, and then
Yeah.
the third one had the newer Audi.
New Audi.
Yeah.
Okay.
And I always gravitated to this movie just to see what car he's going to show.
I drove there. I remember that road.
Yeah, Monaco, right?
That's in Nice.
Wait.
I heard it's nice there.
No, sorry, that's in
Very-
Cannes. Yeah, so that's in Cannes,
Okay.
right on the coast, like just I guess northeast of like Saint Raphael.
Yeah.
But yeah, the roads are super like narrow there.
Yeah.
A lot of car parking and stuff, people, pedestrians, and like that's what they're kind of showing in the
Think
movie.
about that. You guys are talking about the Audi S8. What a cool, like those. This is about 5 years ago, I was just, combing Auto Trader. I saw Audi S8s of that generation for like $18,000-$19,000.
Yeah, they had a lot of issues though.
Yeah.
Like down the road, they need a lot of. If you haven't maintained them properly, they're expensive to own, I guess. If
Outside of warranty, forget about it.
yeah.
All right.
Cool. Those are really good picks. I mean, Transporter kind of shaped your journey to cars, to your sedan.
European sedan.
A little bit, yeah.
All right, Prabhul, what are your top 10?
Move. So I think the best for me
Yeah, it's a good pick.
all-time car movie is Gone in 60 Seconds.
Eleanor.
Yes. And it wasn't just the Eleanor aspect of it too. It just, there were so many cars that were involved in it. It was just
It's
about
true,
being
yeah.
a gearhead,
Yep.
driving, the active. You have four wheels, I can drive it.
Right.
Those type of comments just sort of stuck with me. It's like I want to be a good driver. I want to learn how to be able to control these cars, whatever shape or form they come in.
Yeah.
And this was one of those movies I've watched over and over and over.
Yeah. And what I also like about this movie, a variety of, there's a bunch of cool cars
Yeah.
that you see.
I don't know. I have a feeling you watched this movie for just to see Angelina Jolie. I'm pretty sure that's why you watched it.
Pervert.
Perfect.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't.
I
have
until,
to-
until
I-
you said that, I don't even remember her being in the movie.
Yeah, she was blonde in this movie.
Yeah,
She,
well, I can see her in the thumb.
she was like a biker chick, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is before she. kind of-
Oh, link fail.
What? Okay, let's go to this one instead.
Stolen Porsche. This is where they break into a Porsche dealership,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, I thought this is a pretty cool scene too.
What year was this movie, Prabhu? Do you remember?
Well, that was
2000?
a 996 Carrera.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Like,
Yeah.
2000.
don't bother, Steve. No, just kidding.
I know. I was like, they're going in now. Looking back at this, I'm like, man, you're stealing the wrong car.
Oh. I had a 996. I can say that. Giovanna
Oh, this is
Ribisi.
badass. Just throws a wrench through the window, eh?
Yeah, goes in. Oh, a brick.
A brick.
Okay.
Yeah, it's off
A
of
Boxster.
It's off of 996s.
And a Boxster, I think I saw.
It's similar in that era. Like it had
Yeah.
the egg headlights.
Yeah.
You couldn't tell them apart.
On the back.
Yeah, good choice. I thought it's a good movie. Actually, I liked
And
it.
it's not even like a turbo or a
No,
C4S. It's like the base Carrera.
but the premise for this movie was
Tiptronic.
that
Yeah. That's wrong.
they were car thieves,
Yeah.
and they would ship them and transport them to countries that couldn't get these cars.
That's happening today.
I know, Toronto. Take a
Yeah.
look. I mean,
Terry had his Toyota Sienna stolen.
Gone in 61 seconds. It's a sequel.
Literally, right?
well, actually, it might have been 30 seconds for it. Might have.
That's true.
become
They're
a
getting
lot
better.
quicker.
Yeah.
It's gone
Yeah,
in
getting
6
better.
seconds now.
Should make a new
They
movie.
hold up those antennas by your door and
Yeah, the new movie's based in Toronto, by the way.
Yeah. Gone with the Wind.
yeah, all right. That's a great pick. Yeah. Obvious why that'd be on here.
There's so many good lines in it too. Nicolas Cage was in it too.
I still think he's a horrible actor, though.
So I think this movie was probably one of his best movies for me,
Yeah.
and then it's gone downhill since then.
I mean,
Con Air.
leaving Las Vegas was pretty
Yeah.
decent.
Lord of War was pretty.
That was all right.
But what respect to Nicolas Cage, because he's a legitimate car guy.
Yes.
When I lived in Alberta, I was at the Porsche dealership there. I was always looking. And it was his, actually. He had a 997.1 GT3 RS, black with orange wheels, that was sold. It was at this dealership for sale. I could have owned Nicolas Cage's car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And what
That could have
happened?
been a good or a
Yeah,
bad thing.
Yeah.
Yeah. Well,
It's a story.
Yeah.
he likes cool cars. So
That's cool.
Oh, Will Smith, eh?
oh, Bad Boys.
So the second movie on my list was Bad Boys.
I think Bull has to find clips with Porsches.
Yeah, it's
Like there's just
yeah.
no like I guarantee you the third clip has a Porsche in it as well.
I will have to find out. Wait and see.
Okay, let's go.
Bad Boys. The 964 Turbo.
I think we all kind of know Bad Boys.
Yeah.
There is Bad Boys for Life, the second movie that's come out after how long? Almost 10 years?
Yeah.
Or more?
Oh, is it with Martin Lawrence and Will Smith?
Yeah.
Yeah, they
Oh, really?
are.
You haven't seen the second movie?
No.
Bad Boys for Life.
He just sees the first first movie, first Fast and Furious, first Bad Boys.
No commitment.
No
No.
commitment.
I cherish, I cherish the first experience so much. I don't want to taint it.
Maybe I'll go to the intro bit. I think there are some cool scenes in here that really capture.
This part.
Yeah.
The plane and the car over the crest. Like it's just,
This is set in Miami, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Also Miami.
And this is it kind of gave me
That's Marcus eating a burger in the Porsche. Slap his ass.
I know, and that's happening in this scene as well. It's like,
Yeah.
anyway, it was interesting to watch this scene where he's calling out the Porsche 911, the fastest car you could buy at the time. 0 to 60 in 4 seconds.
Yeah.
I'm like, huh. And now we're looking at 0 to 60 in 3 seconds.
They're undercover cops, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Similar premise to Miami Vice.
Exactly.
Right?
The same
OG.
scene. But I just liked how they executed this movie. It was really well done.
It was
very
well done.
funny.
The clip on the left is that like where they're racing towards the gap,
Yes.
right between the AC Cobra and the.
Oh yeah, you remember that now.
Yeah.
Yeah. I think it's the one on the left. I think that's probably one of the more famous car scenes from that.
That was towards the end of the movie, right?
It was the last, I think, the
Yeah.
absolute end. So it's a big car chase.
That was cool. Just
Yeah.
the Porsche just coming right through.
Yeah.
I just remember watching this and I'm like, man, I love that.
Yeah. Beautiful
That-
car.
The 911 was so.
But I don't think the 911 was as adored as it is today in that
I
movie.
completely agree.
It was kind of more of like a sports car.
Yeah.
Now, if they were to make it Bad Boys, actually, I'm surprised they put like a Carrera in the new
Yeah, it was
Bad
a
Boys.
4S.
It was just
It was not even a turbo, nothing special.
yeah, it was just kind of a
Really?
regular Carrera, right?
And how new is that Bad Boys for Life movie?
Well, it's a
340.
992,
Yeah,
so it was
not-
2020.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Maybe they didn't have the budget to spend money on a sport classic.
Well, I'm not sure they had those models available in 2020 or 19.
That's true.
So
That is true.
remember, if a movie debuts in 2020, they have to make it in 2018,
Actually,
19.
That is so true because I think 992 was just released.
Hey, slow down. There's more whiskey upstairs.
Oh, you want some more?
Stop drinking the ice.
Edit this out. No, I'm good. I'm good.
Anyways, so that's Bad Boys. I thought that was one of the, at least a second favorite
Classic.
of my
Yeah, great pick.
car movie. Now, the last pick that I had.
Oh, that's 4, right? This is the
Tokyo
fourth pick.
Drift.
What?
Fourth pick?
No, third.
No,
one.
third.
Oh,
He's
okay,
third.
okay.
He just has 2 clips for
Oh,
each.
gotcha. Okay.
Yeah.
So I thought Fast and the Furious, Tokyo Drift was a really good
I liked it.
movie as well.
I liked it.
The cars that they were on it, very realistic.
Is it in Japan?
Yes.
Yeah, this was happening in Japan.
So
Tokyo.
Here's a Cole's note.
You don't say.
It's an American like
Not in Kyoto?
no.
Well, they might have
Kyoto
gone for
Drift?
other scenes after.
Yeah, but it's a good storyline. The guy moves from the States to Japan because he's been a badass.
Okay.
His dad's living in Japan, so he lives with him, and he kind of adapts and learns the Japanese car culture, and ends up participating and kind of trying and wowing the people there, right, with his skills and his driving. So it's
Isn't this like Karate Kid 2, but with cars?
yes,
Exactly.
Yes.
It's
Okay.
any scene where a
All right.
white person is going to Japan.
He's Karate
Karate Kid.
Ralph
It's the same
Macchio.
kind of
Yeah,
wax
souped-up.
on, wax off.
But it's I enjoyed it. It was an entertaining movie.
Okay.
I mean, like,
And they're all right-hand drive cars then?
yes,
Is that like a Veilside RX-7?
yes.
Okay.
And this
Well,
was.
you should have put the Viper scene in there to kind of
Is
get
that
Eric
a-
all excited and
Mitsubishi.
I thought this is way more interesting.
Yeah, but
Who's that guy?
that's the new Paul Walker.
yeah.
Paul Walker had died by this point?
Yes.
Oh, really? I thought he was alive for a bit further in the series.
I know
That's why it was so eerie.
It
that
was
actually
eerie, but-
Happened, you know.
Yeah.
So how many like Paul Walker's been in 2 Fast and the Furious then?
3
or
Oh,
4.
this is number how it's
So in the timeline, when I sent that to you,
Yeah.
I believe I can't remember where. It's really far into the future.
when is Tokyo Drift? Like
When
is that
was
the
it
4th one?
I have to look at the timeline.
Yeah,
We'll talk
I'm
about
not
that
sure.
offline.
But it's I think one of the Fast and Furious movies, they obviously didn't complete with him.
Yeah.
They had to use some CGI and
His
I think
brother.
his brother to complete the
Right,
movie.
his twin brother.
So
So these were like the classic Fast and the Furious movies that was very realistic.
yeah,
It captured the
Like
the
actual
car
driving.
scene, the car culture in Tokyo or whatever city they were filming in.
yeah.
And it didn't have like this fancy
Right.
off the top
CGI
CGI
cars
work, right?
launching off to the
Yeah.
But you've seen all the YouTube videos of all these car shows in underground parking lots in Japan
Yeah.
at night.
Yeah.
That's kind of displayed in this movie
Yeah.
to a certain degree.
There's you're right. There's incredible car culture in Japan. You think about like RWB, whether you
Yeah.
love it or hate it, like
Yeah.
it's a symptom for a great car scene.
And it's interesting, a lot of car scene or car trends, the car culture trends came from Japan, which was now getting adopted in like the North America kind of thing, right?
Right.
The car scene was huge before it was even a big thing in the US or in North America.
Yeah.
So there's a lot that's picked up.
Yeah.
Okay.
That,
All right. So that's your 3. I think this is like unanimous. We all had, I think, really good picks.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think what it speaks though is that you didn't have enough time to talk about all the great car movies and car
Yeah,
shows,
but
'cause-
there's again car scenes even.
Yeah, or
there's
even
so many
scenes.
car scenes. Like Mission Impossible, and he's driving the M3 down the stairs.
yeah.
Yeah.
There's so many other ones. Yeah, James Bond. Yeah,
Yeah.
there's so many James
James-
Bond.
Yeah,
movies.
James Bond.
That's
Totally.
a really good one.
With
Bring
the
up James Bond,
DBS.
DBS, Z8.
Or
DB9.
Well, the later ones had the DBS,
Okay.
but the earlier ones had like a DB5. Like the earlier had the
Yeah.
DB5.
Yeah,
Well, Pierce Brosnan,
Brosnan.
Brosnan, yeah.
Brosnan.
Those ones he had BMWs in there too,
He had a
right?
Z8,
The Z8.
And an M5,
M5. Yeah,
and that drove itself with the phone.
yeah, that's right. Yeah,
Yeah,
I would say the shows that I thought would be obvious picks, but were like Knight Rider. Would you guys remember?
I
with
totally
Kit.
yeah, Kit. Yeah,
That was exclusively about a car. I thought that was always pretty cool.
even Batman. You know, like
Yeah.
you don't
Yeah.
you don't think of it at first, but there's quite a few car scenes. Whether there is a Aventador car scene there, but there's also, I mean, the Batmobile.
Yeah.
and
the
other
Tumbler.
the Tumbler. I mean, those are still pretty cool car scenes, right?
and they were realistic. They were fully built,
Yeah.
functioning cars.
Yeah.
Go back like Bullet.
Yeah.
Steve McQueen.
Yes.
So that the original, so that through the streets of San Francisco,
Yeah.
that car chase, that's kind of held up as one of the greatest car chases of all time. You've got Smokey and the Bandit.
Oh, Baby Driver, that's a great one.
That I just saw that
Have you seen it?
on when I was not at last week's podcast. I was flying,
Mhm.
and on the on the airplane, I watched Baby Driver.
It's great.
It's so
the
good.
opening car scene blew me away.
Yeah.
That's
I'm
the
glad
clip.
you put that up.
6 minutes.
Eric's favorite car too.
Yeah.
The
So
Subaru.
the thing I
Yeah.
liked about this was an accessible car
Yes.
that's been showcased and portrayed in such a way that it just blew your mind, right?
Yeah.
If you watch, like, the pedal work is actually like legitimate,
Yeah.
Yeah.
right? Like
Yeah.
it's, you're clutching in. He's the stuff that he's drifting with the car. It's all very realistic.
So I wanted this to be one of my top 3, but I had to shortlist them and put them out.
Yeah.
Yeah. There's so many, right? So I mean,
Like there's more. There's other, like Iron Man
With the
had-
R8.
yeah.
it portrayed it really, really well.
Yeah.
What was it? Hitman.
Yeah.
Man, have you seen some of the Hitman? Like
Yes.
there's 2,
Never
I
seen
think,
it.
right?
Yeah.
So Hitman was one of those movies where they had the S5 concept when it first came out.
Yeah.
And that's where I was like, man, I'm in love with this car. I have to have it. It was the RS5. So I bought myself the S5. I wanted to get an RS5, but I didn't.
Right.
But that movie kind of sealed the deal.
Yeah,
in the
so
auto
it's
world.
they're obviously an influence to car nuts or gearheads. You see something and you see a movie and the way it's portrayed or filmed or displayed on a big screen.
It's a good marketing
It is.
push.
Yeah.
Did you, because you're a BMW nut, did you ever see, it was that film series,
Yes.
BMW commercials?
They were
They were incredible.
they were awesome.
What was his name?
Well, they had different directors.
Guy
would
Ritchie.
do- Guy Ritchie did one with
Yeah.
Madonna in it.
and
But
there was
but
the
you
action.
had I think 8 6 or 8 different directors, like really incredible directors,
Yeah.
take a shot up. But the driver was Daniel. Was it Daniel Craig?
No.
No,
No,
I
it
forget
was
his name. He's
I know
familiar,
what
but
he's been in Sin City,
yes.
Clyde.
Clyde.
something
Clyde Owen?
Clyde Owen.
Clive
Clive
Owen. Clive Owen.
Clive Owen, yeah.
Yeah.
So anyways,
He was the driver. That was BMW. Hats off to BMW.
Yeah.
I think I think in that era, if I had money, I would be so buying BMWs because of those commercials.
like the one he did with the M5 and Madonna.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Like when he picked her up.
off-roading with it and all that.
No, he wasn't off-roading, but he
She kind of got shaken up in the
she got shaken up. She was assuming it was like a limo service to her event, and he took her on this like crazy ride through Manhattan, right, into the city streets in an M5. But it was just they were all really well filmed, and it was, I think, an awesome marketing strategy from BMW M. Like,
I always look forward to the releases. I would watch them. I don't know if it was every week, but yeah.
So I wanted to share. Well, I don't know how much of the Audi scene you really care to watch, but this Hitman car scene was so. I don't know. It just sort of sealed the deal.
It's a good lineup.
yeah, so many cars, eh?
Yeah.
Is that what made you buy the RS5?
In red.
Well, it's
Yeah.
an R7, but
Well, I wanted the RS7 for a long time.
I actually love the R7, like that generation. I think it looked great.
It looks better than the new one.
much like the coupe SUV, I prefer the standard sedan.
Well, there was no standard.
I know.
That was in a 7,
I'm
right?
saying.
Yeah.
Like I'll go to the more some of the slow motion scenes where just like I don't know, it was just so hard not to love this car while watching this movie.
That's Prabhul going through Lansdowne underground parking.
Yeah, I think about it sometimes.
Gotta get a good life. Gotta get.
Yeah.
Now that I'm older, I don't have that energy anymore.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But you know what? Another category we could have discussed is even car commercials.
Yeah.
There were so many, like Das Auto, those were
Yeah.
all
The Volkswagen ones.
such good like marketing car commercials. And there's a lot of them that existed before. All the Porsche ads.
Yeah.
Like when there's like lipstick smear on the girl's face and it does 0 to 60 and like in the 3.4 seconds, right? They were all really good ads.
Yeah, or the one with the kid in the classroom is a very iconic Porsche ad where
That was the one that Peter kind of highlighted in his story.
Yeah.
It's sad because nowadays the commercials are not as engaging.
Yeah.
You have to be so politically correct that they're walking on eggshells when you create commercials.
Well, then another thing is they don't need commercials to sell cars anymore. That's
so
the
true.
thing, right?
Yeah, just give it to an influencer like us, and we'll just drive it around and take shots and tell you what it's all about.
Yeah.
all right.
One more before we.
I think I saw something I peeked and on your mural board. It's a very good call because I was talking about this with Lydia and she said this as her pick.
What the?
Oh no, Top Gear. I thought that.
Oh, okay.
So
But
in terms
it's not
of
really
car show,
Yeah, it's. I was saying fictionalized, but Top Gear is kind of fictionalized in a way. But
so this is why I was at the beginning. I was saying I picked all mine as movies.
Okay.
Because shows, there's so many good car shows related to cars, and Top Gear being on the top of it.
Right.
When you picked like Miami Vice and all that, in my head I was thinking, man, Top Gear is the all-time greatest.
Yeah.
With the
Like car
Jeremy
review.
Clarkson and Richard Hammond and James.
Well, I think
May.
they invented the car review segment. Like they kind of made that popular.
Yeah.
Right.
Just that style, having folks sort of bantering each other, reviewing cars, as opposed to just this sort of
Standardize the testing around their track.
Yeah.
Stay like it was a very good format.
Yeah. I mean, I like what Chris Harris is doing with Top Gear as well. I it's pretty good.
Do you watch the Grand Tour though?
Yeah, Grand Tour is good as well.
Yeah.
But what I disliked about even Top Gear and Grand Tour was that there's a lot of times that deviated from the cars themselves.
That's where Chris Harris steps in.
Yes.
He's the like no bullshit, get in the car, drive, and just to talk about the car's dynamics, the car itself. And Top Gear is kind of the opposite of that. It gave you that.
They try to manufacture they're racing a Bugatti versus a plane.
Yeah.
And they comes down right down to the wire. And I get it makes for good TV, but
The one thing that bothered me about Top Gear is that, especially Jeremy Clarkson, he'd get in a car and he'd start this
bashing
car's
it.
awful. It doesn't do this. It's slow and it doesn't turn well. And then you press the button over here in sport, and everything changes. It's like, oh, the drama, right? Like it's.
But he's a good presenter.
Yeah,
For what it is, I think he did a good job.
Yeah.
Displaying
incredible.
an entertaining, amount like show for people.
Yeah.
But it wasn't for car guys. It was more for the public.
Yeah.
No, I think it bridged car guys, but I understand what you're saying.
Yeah.
So like all of their episodes, I would skip all of that non
And go to the actual like lap time.
Tell me what you think of the car.
Yeah.
Yeah.
You know, you drove it in the city, you drove it on the lap.
But you can't tell, like, I one that I saw recently was where he's telling the story of, I don't know if it's a 968 Porsche that he's driving, and he's trying to meet his dad. I guess his dad's on his deathbed about dying, and I guess a lot of people shit on the Porsche 968.
Yeah.
And he was telling how, he was able to go 170 miles an hour down the M1. He made it in time to see his dad before he died. And so despite everyone panning this Porsche, by me, it's okay. By me. And it was just like an emotional thing.
Yeah.
And I'm getting choked up telling this story.
Yeah.
Thinking about it. But it was good, like kind of a cool moment. Like, I don't know. I like that.
I capture some of those, but what I like, things like the challenges where they're driving a boat. It's
Yes.
Yeah.
And they
I
got
know.
to build a bridge. And
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, what is this?
I
mean,
know.
Yeah.
You're buying a SHIT box and trying to make it float on water.
Yeah.
How
But
is
that's
that
where
relevant?
it became just a show.
Yeah.
Yeah. It
Yeah,
steered away from the
it's
actual.
too fictional.
too fictional
I think
bit.
is what.
Like
I
in
agree.
reality, we would never
Yeah.
be in a situation like that.
Yeah.
But people watched it. Again, I think trying to appeal to the masses as
Yeah.
opposed to the
That's
car
exactly.
niche.
That's exactly it.
Last thing on the board that I wanted to call out. I don't know if you guys ever watched a Need for Speed movie.
No.
Yeah, I watched it.
So acting was horrible.
Yes, cars were
but the
awesome.
cars were
Is that
Amazing.
Koenigsegg behind?
You haven't seen this. You haven't seen this movie?
No.
dude.
Oh my god!
You gotta watch this.
Need for Speed.
I think
So-
I've seen clips of it.
This is
but-
like. This is like.
Okay.
Are those all Koenigsegg?
Yes.
Yeah. So
This is
Who has
probably
3 of these.
This is the probably most dynamic car movie you'll ever watch.
Yes.
Minus the acting.
Yes.
But if you want to see good car scenes, this is like, especially modern day cars of this caliber, this was amazing.
yes, high quality.
Well
Just-
filmed.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Car scenes were epic. So have you played any of the Need for Speed games?
No.
I
I had,
Vice.
I had a job. I had a job and a mortgage to pay.
You know
when these
how-
movies like
How
video
far
games
back
coming out.
Need for Speed has gone back? Like
don't know.
90s.
Easy.
Yeah, they've had
Yeah.
PC games with Need for Speed. With
Yeah,
like,
like
1995. I was in.
I don't know.
I was finished university in 98, 99. So I had a job. You know, like
that doesn't prevent you from enjoying the.
oh.
You know, I doubt whether he's really a car
The
enthusiast.
commitment
now.
is just not there.
I'm not a video game enthusiast.
Oh.
Is that because you were asking me about Need for Speed? I've never played that.
If you're a car enthusiast,
What platform was that on?
on
PC.
it's a PC originally until the
Xbox.
consoles came out. Yeah.
PlayStation,
But it was I was there with Peter and I would play. We'd have a family event.
yeah,
We'd go in like the office on the computer, and we'd share the keyboard because we have to use like the
Yeah.
arrow keys and then the
The
ASF whatever it was.
WASD.
Yeah, for steering, right? So split screen, 2-player mode.
Yeah.
And we were
That's
the
what we
office.
did.
The PC's generating heat. It's like 42 degrees in the
Yeah.
office. We're sweating like we're paper towel in the corner wiping our
You
foreheads.
got to drive
Yeah.
Lamborghinis and Ferraris.
F50, F1s, like everything.
Sounds awesome.
When you're like,
You guys should get Sims. Driving Sims.
Not as fun. I prefer to be on the keyboard.
Get ASDF. That's
Nostalgic.
Anyways,
Okay, so
let's
I-
show you a
all
little
right.
bit more of that, enlighten you.
okay. Very
Like,
cool.
look at this. Look at the way it's filmed. The sounds, everything.
Acting is horrible.
Yeah.
I have to say
Yeah.
every
Yeah,
single
but
time.
who cares?
You know, maybe this is inspiration. If you can still make a movie, and we're all talking about it, so it must have had some
Like, look at the
commercial
scene.
success.
The scenes
This
are
is-
what makes it epic.
Why
unreal.
why is Dev Thing not doing a major Hollywood production of Cars? You've got the cars, you have the talent.
I don't crash things,
Yeah.
No, we won't do that.
No.
and I have 4 hours to film, not
Okay.
weeks.
We'll need to spitball
All right.
a little plot here.
Yeah. the Dev movie coming out 2024.
But see, I like how they're filming across from the other
Side of the
lane
road.
because they get stuff in between.
Yeah.
Makes things look faster.
Faster, yeah.
Those are little details.
Is that Jesse from
Yes.
Breaking Bad?
Yes.
Okay.
After he finished making meth, he started driving.
It probably killed his acting skills too.
Yeah.
No, I'm kidding.
Wow.
Unreal.
Those are great cars.
And this is just a portion of the movie. It gets better and better.
And the whole movie is about just car chases
Yeah.
and scenes like this.
Okay. 3 struggling podcasters that love cars. That I'm just going to start plotting our storyboard here. Yeah. How we want to make a Dev Thing feature film.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
Hey, maybe our audience can chime in and provide some feedback.
Blockbuster hit 500 views worldwide.
We'll storyboard. You know what's interesting though? I should say, like even the 500 people that are watching it, they're engaging.
Yeah.
Which is better than
I
10 views and no engagement at all.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And we're growing every video, so
Yeah. No, it's great.
Prabhu, I've said it before and I'll say it again.
you just hear.
I'm just here for the alcohol.
Just to talk cars and not be in a garage doing it. So.
Yeah.
So I mean,
Listen, half the time we come here, we sit down at this table, and before we even start talking about whatever we talk about, we're already talking about something else car related.
Yeah.
And then we're like, man, we should just press record it and make another podcast.
Yeah.
And then we'll finish this podcast,
And
we'll
then
turn
we'll
it off, and we'll change topics, and we'll discuss something else for 30, 40 minutes again, right?
Yeah.
So
we should just have like hidden cameras recording us the whole time.
yeah.
If only the cameras would last that long.
Yeah, just can't do it.
Well,
No
There we have
stamina.
it. All right.
Yeah.
Another one in the books.
yeah, let's wrap this one up. Top 3 movies or car shows with cars in them.
And any other suggestions you
Yeah.
guys may have,
I'm sure we
post
missed
them
some.
up. I'm curious to see what people have in their list of movies.
Yeah.
Yeah. All great picks. It was really hard to pick top 3. There's so many more we could be sitting here and discussing, but there we go. So let's wrap this up. Thank you once again for another episode. Thank you all for watching as well. And we'll hope to see you in the next one. Do all those things, like, subscribe, share the videos, comment away.
Notification bell.
Hit the notification bell. I always forget that.
I know.
Yeah.
I noticed that.
All right. Thank you, everyone. Oh, wait, we should be...
Cheers.
Cheers.
The original cheers thingy. Cheers to you all.
It's good. Good.